rock?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Do you like rock music?
You know, it depends on what kind of rock it is. Maybe, I'm into rock ballads, I would say. Like, November Rain, I didn't remember the group. So, Scorpions, like, Bon Jovi, I said, like, something like this, quite romantic.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Rock metal is very romantic, I know.
Yep, that's why not? It helps me to relax.
Yeah, I like Iron Maiden.
And to stay on the bright side.
Yeah. Oh, they're quite positive, most of them. And
Yep.
today we have a look at, would you say glam rock? Bon Jovi? Is it glam rock?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe yes, maybe no.
Okay, some happy guys, very positive. Tell me, as a fan, what do you have to say about Bon Jovi?
Oh, so they always just, when I listen to them and I want to still listen to them, so mainly it's emotional. I don't know what, but to me everything is perfect. The sound, the voice, the music, the rhythm. So, they make me think sometimes about past and just, I said, always just, reconsider some things and so on. So, I just like, there is a beautiful word, like appeal, I would say.
Yeah. They appeal to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're nice and happy, very optimistic. I really enjoyed listening to their songs and reading the lyrics. So we will start with just a quick look at It's My Life. We won't even read it because there's not much text to read, but you can just open it to have it in front of you.
Yeah, I've done it.
Yeah, so what can you tell me about this song? I understand it's one of their most famous songs, is it?
It's one of the most famous, and it's for me just like appeared or presented in maybe the end of the 90s or the beginning of the just 2000s. So, I don't know. So maybe I can't say that this is one of my favorite, but for me it was like, when I heard it, it was like their comeback. Actually, they had never disappeared, but so like their albums, like 1987 and just older. So I like more. Okay.
Yeah. So I like the lyrics. They're very strong. They start. That's not a song for the broken-hearted or silent prayer for faith departed. I'm not gonna be just a face in the crowd. You're going to hear my voice when I shout it loud.
It sounds like mainly like a statement, right?
Yeah. So it's like statement, and so it's my life now or never. I'm not gonna live forever. It's very important because not everybody thinks about it, not everybody understands it, and I think, I'm going to live forever, in a way.
Yeah.
We don't believe that we're going to die someday.
Yeah, sometimes we don't think about it. So that's why, so like, maybe this idea of that enjoy the present and try to be just just to the present. It's also like quite, I would say, refreshing idea.
Yeah, and like you live only once, really, and it's your life, your time. What you do with your life, you decide it. What kind of people surround you, what kind of things you do. You decide it. You don't have to be a slave, or you don't have to be follow. You don't have to follow anyone if you don't want to. You don't have to have a job you don't like. You can change it. You can do whatever you like. You can be what you like, and you don't have any obligations. Yeah, so that's what they say, and I really enjoy it because it's like, if you're a loser, if you're just self-pitying, a stupid little idiot, then it's a wrong band. We're not going to soothe you. We know you're strong. Stop pretending being weak. We know you're strong. You can do it. Of course you can do it. Do you have anything to say about it?
No, I'm just reading it just again, like rereading. So what I just can say is like about the next passage. So for Tommy and Gina, who never back down, if I'm not mistaken, so it's like the two heroes of just one of Bon Jovi's albums. So it was like, yeah, like two characters created by them, and actually, so we see them again just in this song. And they are like from one album to another one and to another one. So it's like, you know, something that connects the whole, I would say, the whole way of the Jovi, and actually like reminders and quotes. Interesting. And because again, this idea like tomorrow is getting harder. I do remember the song. It was really like about strikes. So it's the album like Wild Wild West, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't remember the song exactly. The name of the song, but. So I see just the repetition that actually they go back to their like 20 or 30 years back, and just maybe gave another look to their just works and lyrics and the idea, and still it's actually it's not getting easier.
No, because of course it's not getting easier.
Still, there it was not so easy, and now it's not getting easier. But you have to go. You have to like.
Yeah, you have to keep on doing your thing, because if you're not doing it, it's getting harder, really. It's like when people are, I don't know, let's say dieting or doing some exercises, something regular, and then for some reason they stop doing it. For some reason, they have some little break, and the thing is, you have to get back as soon as possible, because the longer you delay, the harder it is for you to return. So you have to keep on trying, and if we talk about, let's say, life force, magic, how to be alive and not just a little robot, maybe it gets harder with age, because, again, people expect you to be respectable and wise figure, and you know it doesn't work that way. You can't always be serious and respectable. Magic has funny ways, and you can't be too self-important. So if you don't practice it, then yeah, tomorrow is harder, and it's harder and harder. It's not hard if you keep doing it, but it's hard if you're like, oh, I'll start tomorrow, then it's very hard.
It's like about postponing in discipline, and actually, if you're not stick to your discipline, and usually, so the result is an unbearable, I would say, feel of being guilty.
Yeah, it could be guilt.
Like this strike, between be a disciplined person or just you feel guilty. Yeah, because you postpone and you don't live this life. You think that it will be like a brighter future for you, but actually it never comes if you don't do anything.
Yeah, because if you think, oh, I'll start tomorrow, and then you die eventually, and that's it. So it's a good song. I liked it. Very, very good message. So that was just like an honorable mention, because it's a famous song and people know it, so we'll just mention it. And it gives a nice kind of background, I guess. It's like what the band has to say for themselves. So now let's look at I'll Be There For You, which I thought was quite a funny song, really.
Which one?
I'll Be There For You.
Yeah, I mean, just, and then you said a sentence and just I misheard.
Yeah, I said I thought it was quite a funny little song. If you read it. Okay, so let's read it. Do you have the text?
I'll be there for you, yeah. I guess this time you're really leaving. This one?
Yeah. So I guess this time you're really leaving. I heard your suitcase say goodbye, while as my broken heart lies bleeding. You say true love, it's suicide. You say you've cried 1,000 rivers, and now you're swimming for the shore. You left me drowning in my tears. You won't save me anymore. I'm praying to God you'll give me one more chance, girl. I'll be there for you. These 5 words I swear to you. When you breathe, I wanna be the air for you. I'll be there for you. I'd live and die for you. I'd steal the sun from the sky for you. Words can't say what love can do. I'll be there for you. I know, you know, we've had some good times. Now they have their own hiding place. Well, I can promise you tomorrow, but I can't buy back yesterday. Yeah, baby, you know my hands are dirty. Oh, woman, you know my hands are dirty. But I wanted to be your Valentine. I'll be the water when you get thirsty, baby. When you get drunk, I'll be the wine. Oh, I'll be there for you, and we repeat it. I wasn't there when you were happy. I wasn't there to make you happy. And I wasn't there when you were down. Didn't mean to miss your birthday, baby. I wish I'd seen you blow those candles out. Oh, I'll be there for you. So what can you tell me about this funny little excuse?
Yeah, excuse. This was just you just like flipped right just from my this. It's like an apology. You see, he apologizes, and actually maybe now he knows that the better future just is possible for both of them, and he's maybe trying to get her back, but actually we don't know if it's happening. But so now he knows by just a couple of his maybe he's just maybe mistakes, maybe just something like this. And actually, he's ready for just a new step, and maybe he is asking for a second chance, if there is a second chance for them.
Would you give him a second chance?
Oh, I've never thought about it, actually.
Suppose he's talking to you.
It depends on each situation. You think that if she's going to give him the second chance?
Because what is happening here? Can you tell me what is happening?
Maybe they are breaking apart, and this is like one of the last conversations between them, which might be actually a turning point, or it might be either it's the end of their story, or it might be a turning point. So, and actually, like he's explaining. Maybe sometimes he sounds like he's begging her, just he's begging her forgiveness, just for her forgiveness. So, and he makes his promises. Or maybe, like, it sounds like vows, you know? And why not, actually?
Okay.
That's what I think.
Right, so let's have a look, a closer look. So we started with the first line, and already we have the situation. I guess this time you're really leaving.
Yeah, it's not the first time.
Yeah, so it happens all the time, and each time she's like, oh, I'm going to leave you, and okay, maybe not just now, maybe tomorrow. Okay, I'll give you another chance. Last time, I'll give you a second chance. Be a good boy. What happens?
What do you mean?
So if it happens again and again.
Really leaving?
Yeah.
I heard his UK say goodbye.
Yeah, but we were talking about the first line. So we know it's not for the first time, and she has given him many second chances.
Yeah.
And she's not very happy with him still. So he is not keeping his word, apparently.
Probably not.
Probably not. I heard his suitcase say goodbye.
And usually I have a question why then in this chances like she was coming back, you know? If there were so many, breakups, and she actually knew that she wouldn't keep his promises. Yeah, so the question for me is usual. What made her to come back again and again?
Yeah, well, what made her come back? Maybe she had faith in him, like, okay, I believe you. I know you're a good person in your heart. I know you're going to change. And again, and again, and again. And finally, she's just fed up with him. She can't take any more excuses. We all have our limits. Yeah?
Yeah, I agree.
And when it comes to this limit, we don't know what kind of girl she is, apart from, okay, she is forgiving, but she has her patience really at the end. Yeah?
Yeah, but we also just see this line, you say true love is suicide. So suicide is kind of a strong word just to describe what true love is.
Oh, okay, we will get to this line. We'll get to this line. Yeah, we can look forward a little bit, but maybe it's just as well to discuss it bit by bit. So, because if we jump from one thing to another, we may kind of skip something important. So I heard your suitcase say goodbye is like a funny phrase, because we have talking suitcase.
Yeah, so it may be just like with this closing sound that she has packed her belonging and she's ready to go, and just the sound, she's closing her suitcase and maybe just shutting or smashing the door, and she's just going.
Yeah. So we can see from that line about the suitcases, we may kind of deduct that they're not on speaking terms, because not you said goodbye, your suitcases.
Yeah, the suitcase.
And I heard they're in different rooms, apparently, because he can't see it, but he can hear it coming. So we can feel this distance between them. Yeah, physical distance, social distance, mental distance, emotional distance. Yeah, because we have those funny talking suitcases.
Yeah.
So we know it's serious. And then the rest of the song in this case is again quite fun, because she's already away and he's still talking to her. As my broken heart lies bleeding, she leaves him. Why? Again, the first line suggests.
We don't have the exact reason, but maybe just they have their story, and just, if I'm not mistaken, it's not given directly. Oh, we're not actually. So if we read the text further, so maybe we can just assume that it's actually stated in the second chorus. To my mind, you said just not jump to another part of the text or to the other part of the text, but it's actually. He missed her birthday, he missed the St. Valentine's Day, so he hands are dirty, so she's not kind of a good man. Maybe he was cheating on her, just doing something else, maybe like betraying her in different ways. And so we know that maybe just she doesn't trust him anymore, she can't rely on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like maybe just for her it was like a self-betraying that because of her coming back and also giving him more and more chances. It's like sometimes like betraying herself.
Yes, and even if we don't look forward in the text, still the first line implies it, that she is leaving him for some reason, that it's his fault. When this time you're really leaving, means she doesn't really want to leave, but something is forcing her, someone here. So we can guess, even if we don't know, it's his fault. And then it's a bit funny, or maybe it's not funny, maybe it's about manipulation. You know how some people do that. They do something bad to you, and you're not happy with it. And then they say, you make me so unhappy, it's your fault. So on one hand, it's kind of funny because he is the cause, the reason why she is leaving. And at the same time, he is complaining about, I'm broken-hearted because of you. I feel so bad. Like, it's your fault that I feel bad. So on one hand, it's a bit ironic or funny, but on another hand, it can be very serious because some people really do that. They really try to control other people using this technique.
Yeah, quite a lot of people do it. Yeah, manipulation. Okay.
So the image we have here, like broken heart lies bleeding, like I'm dying, I feel so horrible. It's your fault.
Yeah, but on the one hand, yes, but actually there are a lot of people. So let's mention it. So maybe they are not, even when they meet a really good person, like maybe like your real soulmate. So quite often they are not prepared, and actually they may be. Sometimes some things can go wrong, and maybe so you try to do something. Maybe you're not like an adult enough.
Yeah, but not like 100 times in a row.
Not like 100 times, yes, because then it's really manipulation and your weakness, and maybe just that everything will be okay. She will be back anyway. So it's again might be the sign of disrespect, and actually being quite selfish and self-centered.
Yeah. And then we have this. You say true love. It's suicide. So maybe true love is a kind of suicide, because if it's true love, then you give your whole self to another person. You don't think about yourself. Love is about giving, not expecting, not taking. Maybe. So who thinks it's suicide? He thinks love is suicide, or she thinks love is suicide?
But what if they both use this word, but for each of them it has in each case just his meaning and her meaning. So for her it could be suicide, because let's say that she might be totally in love with him, and maybe she really doesn't want to leave him, but she's, as you've said, just she forced. Yeah, maybe it's really time, because just someone sometimes need to to stop. To stop, it's like I don't remember this term how to say this. Зависимые отношения. So like
addictive.
When you're addicted.
Yeah.
But for him, it could be suicide. Maybe because he has been making so many mistakes, because he wasn't, like afraid, and maybe he had kind of a traumatic like past, or maybe like very hurting experience. We don't know, and then maybe he knows that once he has experienced it, and it was like a suicide, and he's not ready, to be like open up again and to accept another person. Because actually, if he said that my heart is bleeding, that actually he's also like bleeding heart is a sign like of death. Yeah. And just it's also kind of a suicide. So I would say that it seems to me that they might both use this word, but they mean totally different things as the meaning of the word suicide.
Yeah, maybe for her it's suicide to stay with him.
Yeah.
And she thinks, well, okay, is it true love, or is it just suicide? In which case it's not true love, because if your life becomes like suicide, then probably it's not true love. Because love is happy. Even if it's heartbreaking, it's still light and happy. It's about life, not death. Or maybe if he is, again, trying to manipulate her, maybe he says, I'll kill myself if you leave me again. And she's like, okay, good luck.
Okay. Could be.
Could be. We don't know. But, you say, you've cried 1,000 rivers, now you're swimming for the shore. And again, you say, like, it's not true, it's just what you say. You're exaggerating. Maybe. So, does he admit it? That she cried 1,000 rivers because of him? Guess not really, because he says, you say you cried. I didn't see it. Maybe it's your fantasy. Yeah. Now you're swimming for the shore. Like, she doesn't want to die. She doesn't want this suicidal love. It's not love, it's a relationship. Okay, she doesn't want this suicidal relationship. So she is the healthy person of the two, because she wants to stop it. She had given him another chance, and it didn't work. Now she wants to stop it. Of course, she doesn't want to die there. She's swimming for the shore for safety, away from him, away from the source of tears. And again, we can see he's so self-centered that he immediately turns it around. She cried because of him, like Alice in Wonderland with the ocean of tears, this kind of image. And then he says, "You left me drowning in my tears."
Yeah, how could you?
Yeah, how could you? So again, it's the same as at the beginning. He does something wrong and she does something reasonable and logical. She leaves him, and he turns it around, says, "You're the evil person here." Yeah, and again, I don't care if you say, okay, you said that you've been crying. I don't even know if it's true, but I know what is true. What is true is that you left me now. I'm crying. So what kind of person is he? Is he a nice person?
Oh, just he's quite an ego, I would say. Yeah.
You won't save me anymore.
Yeah, he's like a child, maybe. You mean just he might be childish. And that's what I'm trying to say. Maybe I can't find the exact words, but he's not like, he's still not grown up. And that's why maybe he's just not like ready for the real relationship. But just him is like toys. Swimming, crying, dying, bleeding, crying, but okay.
So throwing a tantrum. Yeah, essentially throwing a tantrum like a 3-year-old child who wants a toy. So he's crying and shouting and making lots of noises. And saying, "Oh, you don't love me. If you don't buy me this toy, it means you don't love me. You hate me if you don't get me the toy." Yeah, maybe, yeah. So you won't save me anymore. Again, like, it's your duty to stay by my side and to help me because I'm so miserable. You make me happy. If you leave me, it's your fault if I kill myself.
Yeah, I will commit suicide. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a very strange song because maybe it's supposed to be a love song because it's kind of about love. But if you actually look at the words, there's no love. He doesn't love her. He loves himself. He wants this nice, as you say, toy. And he's doing this clever little thing, which is using guilt. Making her feel guilty if she leaves him. Yeah.
Sounds logical.
I'm praying to God you'll give me one more chance, girl.
Yeah, so again, just she has just to stay.
He gets God into it. Like, look, I pray to God. I'm a good person. I pray to God. I'm not evil. Yeah. And if you don't answer that, then you have no heart. All I ask is one more little chance. Yeah, well, you had like 10,000 little chances. One more won't hurt. And you know it will never end. Because one more, and then one more, and yet one more. Yeah? So
yeah, it really looks like a manipulation, I would say, here. Because so, just, if you say, so I'm praying for God, so it means that we say that if we think about committing suicide, right, he's not even, he's kind of even not maybe asking her, begging her, it's just like you have to stay. And just actually, he doesn't provide any reason why she has to.
Just because he wants her to stay, because it makes him feel good. So it's not about her, it's about him.
No,
You have to save me. You have to make me feel good.
Yeah, putting the blame on her.
Of course, if he is, we don't know, because it doesn't really say in the text. It's kind of implied. If he is threatening her with his suicide, then it contradicts his praying to God. Because, of course, suicide is not the thing you should do, not in face of God especially. Okay, so we have this situation. Anything else to say here? Okay, so you left me. I'll be there for you. These 5 words I swear to you.
Yeah, just quite a strong word, swear. Yeah. So actually, you can't break. If you swear, you make a very strong promise. Actually, like you can't. You shouldn't break it. Yeah, just like a proposition that you can't do it.
But,
and actually, he's going to be there for you. Just I'll be there for you, but actually, he wants her to be here.
Yes.
If we analyze what you've said, yeah, and it's not about him.
Yeah, it's all about him, and it's very funny. It's like I don't know, like the current situation with these sanctions against Russia, and they're like, well, if you decide to give us a little gas, I'll be there for you.
Yeah.
I'll be there for you.
Yeah.
Of course he'll be there for her, because he needs her, not the other way around.
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah.
And of course he can swear it, because really he has no choice. Well, he has a choice, but he chooses not to have a choice.
Yeah. And it seems just now, while we're reading it, so actually, to my mind, if she stays, everything will happen again and again.
Yeah, because it's already happened again and again, and people do not change that much.
No, they can't.
Not without reason.
It takes a lot of willpower, energy, and time, and usually...
Or magic. People can change if they're in various difficult situations. Maybe they can realize something and change. Like people who become monks after being killers.
When they try to consider things and just...
Well, it doesn't happen on its own. It doesn't happen just because he says, "Oh, I'll be a good boy."
What doesn't work? It's really bad. But just so here, just actually to this moment, so all just what we've read and discussed. I mean, it's like only his words. So we don't see any actions. It's like words, just empty promises, breaking promises, and so actually, what is the real reason for her?
Yeah, so I guess if you listen to the song, then what you really hear is, of course, the chorus, because it repeats. So you hear, "I'll be there for you, that I swear to you," and you think, "Oh, it's so romantic, it's so nice." But if you actually read the rest, the context is essential, always the context. Nothing exists without the context. Then you can see that the words mean just exactly the opposite.
The opposite, right. And actually, she's his heir. But not vice versa.
Yeah, so when you breathe...
It's not like playing tricks. Yes, this is just can be used here, right?
Yeah. Maybe it's like tricks, or maybe he has a little bit like a problem with reality.
Can we use the word delusional here? Right?
Delusional, yeah. Yeah, maybe he's delusional. Maybe he thinks that she needs him, but hello, good morning. Yeah, I want to be the heir for you. I'll be there for you. I would live and I would die for you. So again, we have the word suicide at the beginning, which is related to the word die. and if we decide that for her to stay it would be a suicide, and maybe he was threatening her with a suicide because it sounds like the kind of thing this person would do, then again these words, "I would live and die for you," again sound a bit strange.
Yeah, because these words are really strong. So if we just, again, just think about the word praying, I swear, I pray, I swear, and just live and die, actually, in this case, so if we don't know the context, quite a strong, so you can get a very strong, just a good impression of a person with a very just strong personality. So he's determined, so he's praying to
that's
God,
what he says.
And actually, all the things just must be in a man, right?
Yeah.
And actually, these words like "I'm gonna just, I will be the heir, I will be there for you, I will die for you," they do sound like words from a potential wedding vow. So actually, why not? I steal the sun. So if this person is really pathetic, or maybe just is deeply in love,
so the
why not?
thing is,
right?
Yeah.
But,
yeah. The thing is how a regular human brain works, unless you train yourself specifically. For us, for most people, what we hear is real. So if somebody says something, then to us it is as real as the action, even if the action never happens. And that's how marketing works. That's how, again, relationship, sometimes it's based on promises, like, "Oh, I'll give you lots of flour, on the 8th of March, and for the girl, it's like it's already happened because, he promised me to give lots of flowers, and even if the flowers never come in material form, the girl is still happy because she had the promise. Of course, it can't be only that, because eventually it's like, wait a second. But if it happens just from time to time, it works. It works in politics, in business, in relationship. Words stand for actions. That's the mistake everybody makes. So here we have words, and it's very funny because later he says, "I would steal the sun from the sky for you," another big promise. Words can't say what love can do, but all he does is say. He doesn't do, he only says.
Yes, actually then it means that he knows what he's doing.
Because maybe he knows what he's doing, maybe it's his technique of getting the girl.
Yeah, because words can say what love can do. It's like unspeakable, right? And love is just stronger than words, but... I see. Okay.
So on one hand you can read it just in the way, "I can't describe my great big love," but if you read it again more literally, then words can't say what love can do. We have say words and do love, but there's no love and there's no doing. There's only words and saying. And again, his practice must be showing that it works. If you promise, then the girl believes you and she comes back, and maybe she can be with you some more.
Yeah, that is really, just sounds like he's practicing. He has been practiced, so he has practiced several times.
So we can even imagine their life together. Then the girl has to work for him, bring her money to him, and he lives on her money maybe, and that's why he doesn't want her to leave. We can imagine that. It's quite possible. Yeah. What do you think? Why does he want her back? Just as a toy, or because of some practical need?
I think so. It might be that if he is, let's say, a weak person, yeah. Usually, just weak people need someone just to support him, to support them in different life situations. Because again, just you have said not to go further through the text, but he knows that actually he has made several mistakes, and he wants to be forgiven. And usually, so if we just talking about what can say what love can do anyway, so sometimes just maybe like in weakness, at the moment of weakness, so it can seem that saying sorry, or just like discussing helps to erase your mistakes, or maybe just to get forgiveness or something. Because we know that words are quite, and I totally agree with you here, that words are a very strong tool, actually, if we talk about every sphere of life, just not only love, but because just communication is the thing, just how the world is just, has to go around and operate, just like by means of conversations, just talking, discussion, communication. But we know that quite often just words also can be empty. And just there might be emptiness behind even just the brilliant words that you can ever hear.
Yeah, and sometimes when the person says it, maybe he really means it, but he just never does it later. So it doesn't have to be like a lie, but...
This idea that I mean it, but I don't do it, this is actually puzzles me even in real life. So I don't understand how it's possible to
Well,
mean
it's quite easy, because when you say something, you're in one kind of mind, you're one person. So when you say it, you really, really mean it. But when it comes to doing, it's later. It's like maybe a bit later. Maybe it's like I know an example. When a person is in a great danger, and he prays to God, and he says, God, if you save me, I will do this and that. I'll give all my money to the poor, and then the danger passes, and the person's like, maybe not all of my money, maybe half, maybe not half, maybe a little bit, but every month. You know what? Maybe later. I'm not in danger anymore. So you can be very honest when you're speaking, and then just change your mind. That happens.
Yeah, in this case, just it can be called like a self-delusion, right?
Maybe, but not necessarily. Maybe just the kind of character. Or another example is when people fall in love all the time. Say a man falls in love with girls all the time, and each time he falls in love, he really, really believes it's a true love, it's forever. It's like all the other girls, they were mistakes, but you are my true love, and he believes it. It's true. Until he sees the next girl. Yeah, so maybe just the kind of a character. Because again, it's about discipline. If you have your discipline, then you know you do it, and you can trace it, and you can work with it. But if you're just a regular person who isn't very much interested in these things, you don't notice it. It's just a part of your being. It's just who you are, and you can't help it. Or another kind of person, which maybe when not only he knows about his tendency, but he makes it worse deliberately. Maybe it's his choice. We don't know. So, I know you know. Again, that's nice. You say, I know you know. There's a Korean pop band, and they have one guy, what's his name? Lino or something. And anyway, they have a song with that, I know you know Lino. And it's like their little joke in the So I know you know, like I know you know, I spy on you. We've had some good times. So again, it's interesting. Not you know we've had some good times. Not I know we've had some good times, but I know you know. Again, it's a statement. I know how you feel. I know what you should do. Again, a bit like dominating. Do you think?
Yeah, it's like it sounds like he has all the answers. It's just like he's trying, to lead her like a puppet, not a puppet, but wait a second. So it's like don't know how to say it in English.
Okay, say it in Russian.
Ну вот когда как на веревочках такие типа как это как.
Yeah, like a puppet on a string. A puppet on a string. Yeah, you can have a puppet like a glove puppet, and you can have puppet on a string. Yeah, that's puppets.
Just it might be like a puppet on the string. So he knows for her everything. He has the answers. So he knows what she should do, and she just like even what is better for her. And that these words sounds approximately the same.
Yeah, exactly. And he says. Again, I guess it's a part of this technique. I haven't studied this technique, but it's just what I know about it, just little bits. So again, he points out what he wants to highlight. Yeah, he says, we had some good times, you can't deny it, right? Right? I should like, well, yeah, that's true, we had some good times. Not many, but not much, but yeah, it's true. So if we had it before, then maybe we can have it again. Isn't that right? So little statements which are in themselves may be true, but which distort the true picture. Yeah, again, it's like rhetorics and sophistics. Now they have their own hiding place. We had some good times, but now they're hiding.
Yeah, so it means that they are like just disappearing.
Or maybe so we had bad times lately, so it's hard to remember the good times that were before.
So they start disappearing like from memory. Again, just becoming like more vague and vague. Actually, so one day they can forget about their good times. Just either he or she, anyway.
And
again,
that's
why they do, and then just what is actually what will lead? Yeah.
Yeah. So again, he says, "Okay, let me remind you of the good things, good times. Don't forget that." Well, I can promise you tomorrow. I can't buy back yesterday.
But actually, he can't promise even just yesterday, because just they are just past, and the memories of the past are also like disappearing. And just tomorrow, how can he promise tomorrow? Because
it's the words. The words he says. I promise. I swear. I will do it. I will do this and that for you. And again, I promise. I can't promise you tomorrow. I promise that if you come back, then our future will be great and fantastic. That's my promise. So it's a very interesting and deep subject, the word, the promise. Because, of course, originally, if you make a promise, then you have to keep it. You can't give a promise unless you keep it, and that's the code. It's the codex. It's about your dignity. You don't give your word for nothing. Because again, it was very important, and it's the mindset. The word has power. If you give your word and you break it, then the universe knows it and it will act accordingly. So which is why if the person says, oh, I can't meet you, I've just broken my leg and it's not true, then he will break his leg. Whether, well, in some way. Or, well, it's just an example. So things happen like that. So originally, if you say, I promise, it means you will try your hardest, do your best to do it. If you can't do it, then it's not your fault because you really, really tried. Whether in this case, words are just words, just a sound you make, and they don't mean anything, probably. Yeah?
Yeah, actually, just, yeah.
So
I'm just looking, different, I would say, definitions in Russian come to my mind, just, which can be helpful to describe such type of a person when, like, only saying the words, doing nothing. Still, for me, just staying self-centered and quite with a huge ego.
Yeah, because if you have this huge ego, then
reality. So, and you just can actually refer to the events of the past only from your perspective.
Yeah.
So, and just you use the person who is just in love with you, maybe who is just next to you, like friends and beloved people. Anyway, so just like it's about, this word like consuming, consuming what you have, and what the universe just gives you, but you can't, you don't value what you have.
Yeah.
So it's like you take it for granted, but actually
yes, you take it for granted.
Quite few things that we maybe once can get for granted. The rest you really have to work on. Yeah, even if and especially if we are to talk about relationships. So it's like, it's a very hard work, and very hard work.
Yes, of course.
It's like every day, like really every morning, every evening. So
yeah, one little mistake can break it, because it's finely balanced. It has to be finely balanced. Yeah, and you're right. If you have a very big ego, then your promise is nothing, because you make this promise to yourself, not to some higher power. And you think, okay, I can take it back because it's in my power. Whether if you make a promise to God, then only God can take it back.
And one more word has just come up to my mind. This is like spoiled. It's like usually like spoiled children behave like this.
Yeah.
And when the spoiled boys became like adults, they quite often they can remain spoiled.
How can they change if they are spoiled? What can unspoil such people? Maybe a few years in the army?
Maybe, or like another type of tragedy. I don't know. And psychologists,
I'm not sure about even a psychologist. No, I think it can only be cured by practical means. Like if you send them for a year to some distant village with no electricity.
I know what you mean, Okay, really could be helpful.
Yeah. So
Why
anyway.
don't need to just to dig? Because you have to, it's time.
Yeah. If you don't do it, you die. That's it.
Yeah, it depends on you, so if you can just make some food for yourself and just, helping other people without just breaking your promises to come tomorrow and to help. Because so if you don't, it means that no one will trust you anymore.
Yeah, because that's the beauty of a small community. It's a curse, but it's also the beauty. So the curse of the small community is that everybody knows everybody else. So every little affair, everybody knows about it. Every little mistake, everybody knows about it. But it's also the blessing of the small places, because everybody knows everybody else. So and the power of words. So maybe it's a song about the power of words as opposed to actions. Again, if you remember history, we had two people making statements about the earth. one said that the Earth was not in the center of the universe, but it was circling the sun. Yeah. And the other, what did the other say?
Vice versa.
What did Galileo say? What did Giordano Bruno say?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, one of them, both of them were presented with a choice. Either you take your word back or we'll kill you. And one of them said, kill me because what I say is true. It's revolving. Yeah, one of them said it was revolving, Galileo. It's revolving. Because in his time, word had the power. So if you say the Earth is not revolving, then you kind of betray yourself. You betray the reality. You go against the universe if you say that. So you can't say that it's better if you die with your dignity. And the other said, okay, it's only words. I can say whatever I like. You can say whatever you like. The truth will not change because of that. Because words are words, and truth is truth, and reality is reality. If you make me say something, it's just words coming out of my mouth. They do not change reality. So we have these two different mindsets. And here we have this progression into less and less meaning, less and less power of magical power of words, and more mental power of words. Because it's really maybe it's a paradox, but the less the words mean, the more they mean. The less you can trust the words, the more we trust them. And especially now with the digital era, when we have lots of images, more than ever. And again, images are more important than the real thing. You can see an image and you trust it.
What we say about that, because it's again like this is for me just one of the most scariest things. It's just like when people start playing with words and tricking and use them as a, let's say directly, because it was said just many times already. So like a word can be very good weapon.
Yeah,
for everything, for defense, or for I don't know, for just defense, for blaming, for everything, for curing, for cheating, for hurting people.
Words have power.
By the way, okay, I know that maybe it sounds quite, quite maybe strange and a little bit beyond, but we know that the first word was, right, according to the Bible and all this just ideas. And that's why, so to my mind, we have to be really very careful with words.
Yes.
Because even
if you don't believe in it, even if you think words are empty, they're never empty. Every little thing you say, it has its meaning and consequences. Yeah, it's true. So when people play with words, it's a dangerous game.
And I've always just believed in the power of words, and that's why just what is happening now, and I mean, so all the current situations, we won't name them. So for me, this is just the scariest thing, because so it's about, I don't know, multiply, disasters like by saying words.
I know.
And all this just, I know, really sorry, just longer than all this stuff. Okay. So.
Yeah, I know how you feel. That's how I feel too. Because, of course, words have power, even if people forgot about it, and now playing with them is like playing with a fire. Yeah. So you can lie, you can deceive, you can do what you like. You can say, oh, it's only words, but in the end, it never is. Just words.
This is. And it's just, okay.
Okay, so I can promise you tomorrow. I can't give you tomorrow, but I can promise you tomorrow. Only promise. I can't buy back yesterday. Yeah, baby, you know my hands are dirty. Woman, you know my hands are dirty. So, again, he says, okay, I made some small mistakes. I admit it. I'm not a liar. I admit I made some mistakes. Okay, I'm sorry. I will not do it again. That's what I say. My hands are dirty. What could that be? Maybe he beat her.
Everything, just maybe like an abusive relationship, so like beats, or maybe just cheating, or maybe I don't know, maybe he's just like, I don't know, a robber or a thief, so maybe he's just can't, he's like a criminal. We don't know. So
yeah, we don't know.
Anything, but
so he did something wrong, and he knows it's wrong.
Interpretations. Yeah, so what actually can mean dirty for a woman?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
because
lots of things, but what we know that he did something wrong. He knows it was wrong.
Yeah, and she knows. Just actually, she knows everything. What he knows everything. What she knows. So she's like, yeah, it might be like she's like he is into her if he knows so many things about her. But still, then if he knows all that stuff, what is he doing?
Yeah, manipulating what?
Yeah, but it sounds really just that he's quite a cruel one. And we're not still just on this line, okay.
Yeah, I wanted to be a Valentine. Again, I wanted.
Yeah, but he didn't.
But he didn't. But it's I want. I want you to come back. I want you to look after me. I want to be a Valentine. I don't ask your opinion.
Yeah.
I want it. And yeah.
Yeah, I'll be the water when you get thirsty. Yeah. Okay, clear.
And when you get drunk, I'll be the wine.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll be the wine. Not champagne. Yeah, why not champagne? Why wine?
Yeah, so first he says, I'll be the air for you. Now he says, I'll be the water for you. Because obviously air and water are most essential things.
Yeah, to live. Yeah, and that's just again about like death and suicide and just all keep on living.
And maybe in a way, in a small manipulative way, he says, without me you will die, because I'm like air, I'm like water.
And it seems to me like I'll be there for you. These 5 words I swear to you. It sounds like a spelling.
Yes.
In a magical sense.
Yeah, like a spell.
Like,
yeah.
And he's actually, it's about like not playing with the word, but making her believe by means of the word as a tool that we stay because just I need it. And it looks like a spell.
Yeah, of course. And suppose she leaves him, maybe she doesn't have much. Maybe she gives him all her money, so she doesn't have much money, so it's hard for her to find accommodation, maybe, or something else. And when she is in some dire situation, I say, maybe I made a mistake. He said he'd be there for me. Maybe I should come back. Maybe it wasn't that bad. Maybe that's what he wants it to be. Maybe. So I'll be the water when you get thirsty, baby. And when you get drunk, I'll be the wine. So how does wine fit into this? So we had some wine at the Hotel California.
No, wine for me just usually has a very direct symbolic meaning with like the Father of Jesus Christ. And just this is the thing that is a part of the service, like church service. So if and just remember that it was said like and blood will and wine will be my blood. So bread or wine. Yeah. So, mainly.
So again, if we look at different cultures, then strangely or not, but wine is very often some kind of wisdom or godlike wisdom. So Christ in Christianity, wisdom in Chinese culture, in Asian culture. So like when you read these poems where they talk about drinking wine and wanting more wine, they talk about wisdom really. So here, is it this kind of wine, or is it just wine which makes you drunk?
I don't like just the word drunk and wine are just at the same line, because just wine is not maybe to get drunk. If we just concerning and if we just take in consideration the symbolic meaning of wine is wisdom. So actually, why you need wine to get drunk?
So maybe he says, I'll be your everything, I'll be your God, I'll be your provider of earthly things. You can't do anything without me.
Everything. Because
your stars, I'll steal the sun because I will be your sun. I'll steal the moon, I'll be your moon. I'll be your stars, I'll be your universe. You don't need anything else. Come here to me. It's only me, nothing else. Maybe. Or maybe it's in a more like a sexual way, like you get thirsty and I'll be the water, but if you're lusty, then I'll be there as well. Maybe just that. Maybe I'll be your wine because wine makes you crazy. Like that. So either whatever meaning we take here, he says, I'll dominate you, I'll be everything for you. You will not be able to survive without me. Something like that, I guess. Then we repeat the chorus. And then again this funny little ending. I wasn't there when you were happy.
Yeah, he knows it.
He knows it.
And she was happy without him, so what's the point?
Yes, that's very funny. I wasn't there to make you happy. I wasn't there when you were happy. Yeah, she can't be happy without him. She doesn't need him. He needs her.
And not in better and for worse, right? And actually, when she's not happy, when she was happy, or in a couple of lines just further, when she was down, and again, it's just he is not there for her.
Not in the times of grief, not in the times of happy. He doesn't make her happy. He doesn't help, doesn't support her when she's unhappy. Why would she need him?
That's a question, and actually I didn't mean to miss your birthday, or she missed it just not only once, I guess.
Or you may think, so she left him just because he missed her birthday. What a strange excuse for leaving your boyfriend.
It is strange that he could miss it. Because just if you treasure a person, it's just like it. I know that this is quite a little thing, but we know so when they say so, it's like million little things. So little things are usually like big things. And you really have to mean it. Even about your birthday, you can't say, oh, I have forgotten about you and about your birthday, because just they, as they say, and especially in English, right? So just today we celebrate you, and just as far as I understood it now, and if I'm not mistaken, so when they celebrate birthdays, they really celebrate a person, like a life, and just to say I have forgotten about your birthday, like, okay.
Yeah, so I didn't mean to miss your birthday. So missing a birthday is a big thing. Like, what? Are you still here? More excuses? So why would she need him?
Yeah,
she doesn't. She doesn't need him.
Yeah, and I wish I'd seen you blow those candles out. When I know that actually you make a wish when you blow candles out.
Yeah.
And so actually he has no ideas about your wishes as well.
Yeah, he doesn't know what she wants. He knows nothing about her life. He doesn't care about her mental state, let's say, or emotional state. I wish I had seen you blow those candles out. Maybe it means I wish I could control your wishes as well. Maybe. So if I see you blow out the candles, then I can guess what it is you're thinking about. Maybe. So maybe on surface he missed her birthday, and then he comes home, and she says, "Where have you been?" "Oh, just walking around, working thing." "How about? Didn't you forget anything?" What was it?" "My birthday, you idiot!" "Ah, oh." I said, "No, enough is enough. That was the last straw. I'm leaving." So maybe on the surface it seems like a strange excuse. Okay, he just missed a birthday, what's the big deal? But as we go through the song, we kind of see that it wasn't one little thing, it was lots and lots and lots of things.
No little things, yeah.
And then, again, she's already gone, and he's, I don't know, what is he doing? Practicing? Rehearsing? I'll be there for you.
But he's still keen, yeah.
He's still there talking to thin air.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't there when you were happy. I wasn't there to make you happy. I was not there when you were down. I was not at your birthday, but I will be there for you. Yes. Sure.
Believe me, yeah.
So that's quite an interesting little song.
No, this really is. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, because I had a look at some different lyrics, and some of them are like that. Something about Bed of Roses was like that.
Yeah.
Bed of Roses. Let me find it. Lyrics. Jovi. So again, he says, I wake up with a blondie girl who gave me nightmares, and she's still in my bed.
Yeah.
I want to lay down in a bed of roses, so tonight I'll sleep on a bed of nails. Again, a bed of roses is not the most comfortable thing, you know? Yeah, I whisper, baby, blind love is true.
Yeah, and again, so, and about all the things that I long to believe, but actually, long to believe doesn't mean that you believe.
Yeah.
About love, the truth, what you mean to me, you again, you're all I need, but I'm again with another woman, like something blondie, and just, what can I do for anything? Yeah.
And
He's
like,
sleeping on a bed of nails, actually, a bed of roses, bed of nails, so quite different, but quite similar.
yeah.
If we talk about, just roses as flowers having,
Spikes.
Yeah, spikes, that's it.
Spikes. Okay, so, yeah, it's quite funny, because on one hand, you may say, oh, it's a love song, if you don't really listen to it. But you look more closely, it gets more interesting.
And even just this song, just the song called These Days, and just when he jumped and broke his, when he jumped and broke his something, and he said, Mama, I've got to try. So actually, and again, it's about like giving, just like when you listen to it, it's like giving hope. Yeah, but then when you listen to the words, it's like, Mama, I've got to try because you know that all my heroes died. And just, okay. So a person like jumping from out of nowhere, or maybe like, it doesn't matter, heel out of the window, or maybe just Grand Canyon, because you know that you won't actually. You definitely know. And again, it's about what? Committing a suicide because all the heroes just have died, or what?
Oh, your heroes are dead, then you are the next hero, easy. If your heroes are dead, it means you are the next hero. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good if your heroes are dead. Okay, do we have time to have a quick look at the other song?
Okay, which one?
The House is Not for Sale.
The house.
So it's a late song. So it's not an old song. It's more like the summary of the career. So we will not go into much detail. We'll just have a little look at it. I think it's a nice one. So let's read it.
Yeah, this whole world have got a story to tell.
Yeah.
The door is off the hinges. There is no wish in the well.
Outside the sky is coal black.
The streets are on fire. The picture window cracked, and there is nowhere to run. I know, this house is not for sale. I sat each stone and I hammered each nail. This house is not for sale. Whenever memory is lit and my dreams all fail, this house is not for sale. Coming home, I'm coming home. Wow. Swirl my spike into the ground and I stake my claim. Standing on the dirt where they will dig my grave. Now I build these walls, it's in my veins. No time for good,
For looking back.
looking back. A world is out
The wolf is at the door.
Is out the door. The heart, the soul, this house is not for sale. I sat each stone and I hammered each nail.
Yeah, we don't have to repeat it.
Not for sale. Yeah, okay. Then bridge, right? This
Yeah,
house
that's
was
of course.
built on trust. That's what it is. It always was. No wrecking ball could knock it down. This house was built on higher ground.
And I
Okay.
said it's stone, we repeat it. So what do you think about it?
It looks like this house can be a metaphor of his life.
Can be or is.
Or
It's quite transparent, let's be honest.
Actually, that it is, because it's just not a literal house.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when so like the well could be like your soul,
Mm-hmm.
and just all the things that you have inside you. And then walls that you, building and stores to tell the story of your life. And actually, and windows cracked, and picture windows cracked like the world around, and there is no more place to hide. Yeah, but still he's not and he said actually he's responsible, he knows what he has done, I hammered each nail.
Mm-hmm.
And so each stone, maybe it was like stepping stones, that's what comes to my mind.
Yeah.
And that's why you can't just, and if you sell it, it means that you
sell yourself.
but you betray yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's very good, very optimistic, very strong, lots of dignity in it. I like it because usually when we talk about the image of a house, it's just like a personality, the person. But here it's more than just one person. It's his whole life, what he had built, his whole magic. Because it is kind of magic. When one person creates this big world, this universe around themselves, and other people come and can see it and join it. So it can be a musician, can be some other kind of artist, or it doesn't have to be an artist as such, how people do it. So yeah, these four walls have got a story to tell, and we can see that this house, it's not perfect, it's old, it has lots of problems, the door is off the hinges. So we start with the door. That's the first thing we see when we come to a house, and we can see, the door is off the hinges, and there's no wish in the well. Interesting, because again, maybe what is it? Willpower or creativity? I don't know. So it's the end of their life, as they see it. So it's not at their prime, but it's closing times. Outside, the sky is cold black, the streets are on fire. So again, interesting, because what is it? Because you're alone in the universe. Whatever you do, you are surrounded by people, and that's fantastic. But what you experience is only yours. Your life is only your life. Nobody can feel what you feel. Your death is only your death. Yeah, again. And the sky is coal black, and streets are on fire. We have this big contrast. Starless, dark sky, which is like the end of the world, really. Big fire in the streets. But his house may be old, but it's standing. So it may be the end of times.
Okay.
It may be the end of times, but he's still there. He's not afraid, he's not running, he's not on fire. Picture windows cracked. Picture windows, picture windows? It's a kind of windows that you can't open, which is just for light. just for beauty. So more like decoration than ventilation. And they are cracked, so maybe we had some glamour in our life. We want to make our life beautiful, but maybe it doesn't hold as well as we hoped. But it's not a problem because it's ours. It's mine. So even if it's cracked, it's still mine. There's nowhere to run. And you can't run away from yourself. And you accept yourself. And I know, this house is not for sale. So I guess the first time when we hear the house is not for sale, we may think, it's not for sale because it's old and nobody needs it.
No, but actually he can't sell it because it's self-betrayal.
Yeah.
So it is his life, his reality, his universe, and just, his whole life experience. You can't say that it's not mine because it sounds like betrayal.
And there's nowhere to run. He can't sell it first because he knows he can't. Secondly, if you sell yourself, if you betray yourself, then what? What next?
Emptiness, actually.
Yeah. And he says, I set each stone, hammered each nail. So the house doesn't appear by magic. Nobody can make it for you. You make it. And if your nails are stupid, it's your fault. And if your stones set right, again, it's what you did. You do it with your own hands.
But here, so he said that, I know that I'm responsible.
Yeah, you are responsible.
But actually he was quite aware of, maybe unaware, but what he was doing anyway. But he admitted his weaknesses, his strengths, his victories and failures, but he's here just to observe it and to say, yes, it was me.
Yeah, so this song really reminds me of It's My Life song. I think it has a similar message. Again, you have one life, it's your life, be proud of it, do your best. Yeah. Memories live, dream don't fail, the house is not for sale. Coming home, I'm coming home. So again, this image of it's me, and it may not be perfect, but it's my home, it's where I belong. Yeah. I'll draw a spike into the ground and I staked my claim. So that is me. A big sign saying it's me. Standing on the dirt where they'll dig my grave. So again, I know how it ends. In the end, I'll be there in the dirt. He doesn't say ground, he doesn't say soil, just dirt, because dirt to dirt. Yeah. In the end, what is left of us? Memories, art, but even that doesn't last for too long. Actually, what's the most ancient art we know? Something Babylonian, maybe, but that didn't have an offer. What's the early, the first author we know? Maybe Homer. Again, it's not that old in relation to history of the universe. So everything disappears. Everything is dirt in the end. I know I will die. I know I will not live forever. Again, as in my life, it's my life song. I know I will not live forever. I know how it ends. And because I know how it ends, I'm going to live a really amazing life. So story remains. If I have a real story, it will remain. People may not know it. People may not remember it. But it will be flying across the universe if it's a real story. People will write about it even if they don't know about it. What built these walls is in my veins. Again, very literally, it's me, it's like my body, it's my being. My destiny is like my body. you can't separate from it, and you build it, you make it. Same as you make your body, your diet, your what you do, things, doing sports or not doing sports, and other things. No time for looking back. The wolf is at the door. So you know you're going to die. So the wolf is death, apparently. Yeah. And we know that it's here. We know that the wolf is at the door, and the door is off the hinges. So it can't really protect you. You may build your house, but it will not protect you from death. And you know your time is running out.
And even the picture windows just are cracking. So actually it means that something just is happening, like the earthquake or anyway, so it's not stable. And so actually it's like...
Yeah, it's not like...
by something.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, I build a pyramid and it will stand there forever. No, I build a house, and I know as a house it will disappear eventually. It's not forever. Well, it's me and it's here.
I like this idea of just of houses, because just, you know, just a colleague of mine, she's quite a close friend of mine, just shared with me this idea. So this year, and then just a year ago, she traveled a lot in the north of Russia. It means just, and she just saw, you know, these old villages, and the villages just which are almost, I would not say dead villages, right?
Yeah, lots of dead villages.
She said just when she was looking on these dead houses, and usually you know that if they are made of wood, like wooden houses, they turn black, especially in this region. And then just she said, let's look, even we compare and imagine the life of a house and the way how it gets old with the human's life. So it can be kind of a parallel thing, just and a very strong comparison, and just not even symbolism, but like a visual representation of what can happen.
Yeah.
So because just it's like, you know, getting smaller, getting darker, just with I don't know.
And most importantly, when somebody lives in the house, it's like the soul in the body. And once people leave it, it's like just the body, and it collapses very fast. Empty houses collapse very fast because nobody's looking after them. So people are the soul of the body, and house is like the body in this sense. It's just what I think. I don't know if you agree.
No, thanks for sharing. That's really just,
Yeah, so here we don't talk about great pyramids.
Yeah.
We talk about a house which is personal, which has individuality, which is you. Yeah? Okay, and this heart, this soul, this house is not for sale. So now we speak it tell it openly, because and of course we have heart and hearth as a part of the house, and soul and soil as a part of the ground. So he may say like this hearth, this soil, this house is not for sale. He says this heart, this soul, this house is not for sale. So the house is built with heart and soul. That's his destiny, and that's why it's true. That's why other houses may be on fire in the street, because they're not real houses. It's just people living mechanically without thinking, doing. Yeah. But he was very really putting his heart in his life, his soul in what he did, what he does. So if you put your heart, it doesn't stop death, but maybe you can keep it at bay a bit longer. Maybe you can you don't have to run in panic because you're on fire, but you can meet it with dignity, because you have your house, and maybe because death will take a moment to appreciate your house. Who knows? Who knows? But that's apparently what makes this house different, why it's not on fire, unlike the rest of the street. It's not to say that he is better than other people, it's just to compare, just to say how it can be. This house was built on trust, and that's what it is, and always was. No wrecking ball could knock it down. This house was built on high ground. Again, very beautiful, very optimistic, very dignified. So he says, I will not lie to get what I want. I will not deceive people. And I will trust people even if they deceive me. I'll give them a second chance and maybe another second chance. Like that girl. Yeah. And no wrecking ball could knock it down. Could. Again, in the past, because now it's the end of the world, now we don't talk about keeping it. But the wrecking ball is apparently like human things. Like, human things could not destroy it. It's only bigger things, the end of the world, the universe, death, that can destroy, but not human little things. Because I build it on high grounds. With trust, with love, with heart, with soul. And if I do that, then that's the plane where I'm operating. And the human little things have no power there. Yeah? It's like if you trust yourself to God or the universe, spirit, then you operate on a different platform. Yeah, things happen differently to you from a different paradigm, and that's what he says. It's a high ground. What you say? Your sound's off. Your sound's off. Your sound's off. I can't hear you. You're speechless. You have no words. It's too amazing, I know. Okay, yeah, you can type something and I can read it. Yeah. What shall we do? Says Eugenie. Maybe we shall have a little tea. Would that be a good idea? A little tea party? When things get strange, what you do is have some tea. That usually helps. Okay, Eugenie is typing. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. But really, we're just about to finish. Switch my camera off for a second. Okay, do that. Do it. And then she disappeared. And then she was back. Say something. Talk to me. Talk to me. Eugenie is typing. Still no sound. Okay, actually we can just finish because we discussed both songs. Yeah, we can finish.